Hello YouTube! Okay, so today's video is another picture I'm drawing for my Etsy shop. I'm currently in the middle of doing a bit of an overhaul on my shop. I'm kind of redoing a little bit of how I print my cards out to make them a little bit bigger and a little bit nicer. So this is going to be a new card, but I want to get all that sort of sorted out first before I introduce it so I don't have to have an old version and a new version. So it'll probably be out in another week or two. So this is probably one of the quickest turnarounds I've had from idea to finished card illustration. Basically, I was on a walk and just kind of thinking about potential new ideas, and I got this image in my head for a unicorn with its head stuck in a box and the horn kind of poking out the top. And for whatever reason, I thought that was really hilarious, so I did a little tiny sketch on a piece of scrap paper while I was out, and then I came home and basically sat down and drew it up right away, and this is that. And the text is going to be really similar to an existing card, which I will link down below, but obviously referencing unicorns instead of the original, which is referencing dragons. The actual layout part, like taking all the illustrations and putting them together with text, is probably the part about making cards that I like the least, or at least that I find the least interesting. So probably what I'm going to end up doing is taking this illustration and a bunch of other updated illustrations I'm making, and then just go and do all of those together at once in one big batch to make all the finished cards. So I didn't really do anything too fancy with the line art. It went pretty simply. I did have a little bit of trouble figuring out colors just because there isn't really sort of one ideal unicorn coloration. There's a lot of colorations that could work pretty well. So I played around with a few ideas and I ended up wanting to go with this kind of rainbow shimmer effect across white fur on the body. So basically all I did was I ended up creating a new layer over top of the layer where I colored the body portion and then set it to have its transparency affected by the layer beneath it, and then just drew a sort of rainbow gradient over top of that and then played around with the layer effect to make it a bit more subtle. I am a little worried it's going to end up being too subtle in the finished version and it won't print very well, but I do think it looks really good on screen and I'm optimistic that it'll be subtle but still just a little bit visible on the finished card. With the redesigns I'm doing, I'm really trying to focus on keeping my style very clean for the cards. I think it looks really good when they end up being printed out, and I think it'll help kind of make the whole line very coherent. So it was interesting to try and get effects like the really fooshy tail, but also compared to the really sort of flat cardboard and try and make them all look coherent without making any of them look kind of messy. Yeah, so that's about it for this piece. I do want to apologize if my voice is sounding kind of croaky in this video. I'm still getting over last week's cold, but I'm definitely on the mend, so it should be back to normal in the next week or so. I'm also going to take a second here to do the awkward YouTube self-promo thing and mention that my channel's 1-year anniversary from when I started properly posting videos is coming up in a couple months. So it would be really cool if I ended up getting to some sort of fancy subscriber milestone for that. And if you'd like to see more of my videos, it'd be really cool if you'd hit the subscribe button below. Yeah, so thank you so much for watching, and I hope I'll see you in the next video.